I used to work there.
Now, we have a brand new office in Miami, and this is a new office here in DC. So spread the word, because sometimes the mail is going to our old place.
I get your email.
Okay,
well,
good.
actually, the three of us are constituents. So.
Ah! Whereabouts do you live?
Miami, just off of, well, I moved. I used to be in Washington Schultz's district in Hallandale, and then in the last 6 months we moved down to Miami off of Coral Way and 13th.
You bet. Oh, that's a nice area. Her loss is my game.
And then
How about you?
Walmart 89, Indian Waterways.
Boy, my
My
mother.
name is Terry Harris Park.
Great.
And my business is in Key Largo next to the Caribbean Club.
Good. Thank you. So constituents, how wonderful. And you know Sarah.
Of course.
Hi, Sarah and Tad. Pleasure to meet you.
Monica. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I should have prefaced this. Obviously, I work for NPCA, but Monica and Tad are diehard advocates, as well as
Good.
advisors, as well as park users, and I'll let them tell you who they are, because you already know who they are.
Well, thank you. Go right ahead.
Oh, actually, I've been guiding the Keys for 23 years.
Is that right?
I have, and I use Biscayne and Everglades National Park really is where I conduct my business out of. And also
Boats?
the Keys.
You're
Yes,
talking
ma'am.
about-
I'm a
okay.
professional fishing guide.
Professional fishing guide.
Sure. And I think we've got some...
You've got paradise down there.
You know, I grew up in the Keys, so I remember what it was like growing up as a kid, and now it is very much so. We take it for granted. When I leave, I kind of remember when I go back.
Yes.
I kind of see things with new
Now,
eyes.
old timers, not that you're old, but they say that Keys has changed so much, even though there's not much to change because it's limited land there. But they lament the change that's taken place.
It was different people. I'm 44. I moved there when I was 7. So I've been there a little while, and the change has really been, you couldn't see it unless you'd been there a long time. The natural resource change is really evident. The water quality, I mean, the lack of restoration of the Everglades, which you've been working on. I've been
Yes.
involved with for 20 years.
And tell me about the economy in your industry. Are you seeing
very bad.
a lot of the folks who you would normally have as visitors to charter your business dropping off?
The guide business in general is a direct indicator of everybody else's business, because when people aren't coming to
That's
fish,
right. They're not coming to fish. They're not coming to do anything. Because they're not there for the beaches. They're there to fish. They're there to scuba dive.
Sure.
Everything is water related.
Everything's water related, absolutely. I've seen it. I've lost a lot of business, but 90% of my clients were in Wall Street, oil and gas, and real estate. So personally, I've lost a lot of business. And a lot of my clients, after guiding for this long, a lot of my clients did 25, 30 days a year, one client. So
One client.
you lose a few clients, and there's a lot
And
of years gone.
that's 6 months. Wow.
Easy. So, and I think I'm sure everybody's been knocking on your door. Everybody wants money. Everybody needs some money for something. I think what we're really concerned about is getting, supporting the economy by trying to get some of the Dry Tortugas rebuilt. The Flamingo really needs to be rebuilt. This Everglades restoration plan's been dragging on forever. There's so many jobs to be created overnight if they had the money to write the check, from exotic species removal to they need a whole assessment on rebuilding Flamingo. That was a huge draw. People came from all over the world to go to Flamingo. They could stay, and we've seen visitor decline enormously.
Yeah.
And it's
Well, thank you.
yes, thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
having
much.
us on.
And tell me about you.
My name's Monica Wall, and my husband started a canoe and kayak business in Key Largo 18 years ago. And we were hurting.
You are hurting,
Yeah, because
yes.
of the economy. And no one's buying stuff.
And so it's just you and your husband, or how many other employees do you have?
It fluctuates from
Because of the
a few
season
and this high season would be maybe 10. And then we have some on-call people.
That's tough.
We
How do you get the word out? How would somebody from
Website,
Michigan know?
Word of mouth. Paddlers seek out paddling shops.
Okay, so they know, yeah, and so you advertise there, and they know reliable folks like you.
Yeah,
and
we have
they
our
work back.
van decked out, so just our vans being seen around town, because we do rely on locals for boat sales.
And it's called,
tourists for tours. Florida Bay Outfitters.
Florida Bay
Florida Bay is in our
Outfitters.
backyard, like
And
a mile
paddlers,
out of-
kayaking.
yeah, I have a paddling club, so we have, customers, we have visitors from around the world, we have the locals who are paddler enthusiasts that you know, participating.
And when did you start seeing the economic downturn? When did your businesses
Summer,
start getting
the end of summer.
Summer.
Yeah.
So-
And this, that should be high season for you, is not.
Actually, there's, you know, with my business, there's a few months things were slow, like August, but September was always busy. The fall was always busy. There was nothing to do, you know, 28 days in October, working. You know, this year I think I did 12. So, but I think that has reached through all economic, every, no matter what kind of business you were in, it's affected. I think what we really wanted to talk to you about is the support we needed, kind of like getting things back on track for, like, say, protect the resource.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, no, I think he's
So tell me,
absolutely right. Well, we've got two things, but I have to pay for it, so I'm not trying, normally give it to Sarah.
Okay.
Do I need to channel it through you?
No,
All right, well, they
You give
mentioned,
it to me, then I give it to Sarah.
they mentioned flamingo.
Yes.
And so one of the things we had talked to Sarah back in November when we saw her last was this first thing, which is a,
$500,000 for the development of a master plan,
You got
site plan, as the next step to rebuild Flamingo in Everglades.
yeah,
National Park.
and we don't know if that can factor into a stimulus. We don't know if that could be standalone in the next, you know, 09 or the 10 budget.
Because
or
it was doing
depending
so
on-
well, and then the hurricane came, and
Yep,
boom.
yep.
And it seemed like it was going to be rebuilt, and that was the plan, everybody was happy about it, and then what happened?
They've made a lot of progress, because folks like these basically said it's important to us, it's part of the
Yeah, we
fabric.
told them what we'd like
For
to
the
see
overnight
there,
facilities.
see an eco-resort type rebuilding.
We really can make something, a real jewel here.
Yeah. And that's, right now, the only thing that's stopping putting it out to bid for contracts and construction is the site plan, that they bring in somebody that says, okay, you know how many beds you want, this is what it should look like, and they can put it out to bid. So we've talked to the other Florida delegation offices, everybody's pretty much behind rebuilding Flamingo, number one, and number two, just figuring out the right way to request it.
Right, wait,
So
okay.
we put it on paper, it starts to draft, obviously willing to work with you guys and the rest of the delegation on figuring out what's the best way to do it, but
Great.
that's the sort of stumbling block. And that's probably the high end. I mean, we think it might be
It might even come in lower than
in
that.
terms of what it costs for that site plan. Yeah. Yeah. And then the other thing that they were talking about, since Florida Bay is their backyard, is education. And since Florida Bay is also your backyard in terms of your congressional district, if you guys want to tell them a little bit more about Eco Mariner and what we're doing with the
Yes.
resource protection course down there.
Actually,
Eco Mariner,
You got
it's
it.
an education
Yeah.
program.
For both.
Several years ago, one of my clients actually has a foundation, and he needed to donate some money. He wanted to, he's really active in parks. Monica and I are kind of charged with a few other people of being the steering committee for that money. So over the years, the park has come to us with a